with the call.
Thank you so much, Maria. Well, let's see if the team known as the Boulder has indeed cracked it this weekend. I guess a boulder does crack if you push it off a cliff.
They're definitely rolling, is all I know.
They're rolling.
Sure, yeah.
They're rolling, and they're not letting up any steam as it stands so far. Ailey Loney alongside Corey Baumeister here to bring you the action of our constructed rounds. Dom Harvey of Canada up against Nick Talbot of Australia. Two Elementals decks, but very different indeed.
Yeah, and Dom just coming off a 1-2 record here in Limited, just lost the last 2 rounds. So at this point, you know, when you start X1 at a tournament, you lose a couple, you're just like, okay, come on, let's not have the wheels fall off.
Time to rally. Let's
and
go.
the boulder roll down the hill instead of up. But these decks are very different.
They are.
Haley. They are, you know, one is basically a spell deck, and the other one is just the all-in kind of elemental plan. Both definitely have strengths, but the one thing they're kind of their strongest cards, the Sunderflog, I think will both be quite bad. So
they do nothing in this match.
Yeah, we're going to see those more than likely come out unless, you know, from Dom's side, it's the type of card where you just have to leave in your threats.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it, but always worth checking out if that's the case.
Yeah. Big ol' flyer in the air, never a bad thing to have in these matchups, but let's get things underway here. Sleight of hand, kick things off for Dom Harvey, and now we see Aisling rekindled for Nick Talbot. This card has impressed me a lot. It's so powerful.
Yeah, very good. We're seeing it in the Elemental Shell. Ely Cassis and the other players playing Is It Blink have decided to play that card as well. It's making an impact across multiple decks, so yeah, really powerful one. And I think that kind of answers our question of how important is Sunderflock when your opponent's on all Elementals as well. And not very, I think, is going to be the answer.
At its best, it's a 2-mana 5/5.
Yeah, and that's a pretty high floor, that's for sure.
Beza, the Bounding Spring, drawn to hand here for Nick Talbot, who says he prepared for this tournament with a group of chill farmers who grow cool bananas. So that explains the team name.
Okay, yeah. that is very interesting. Nick was just saying, he was just watching at home, thought he was better than the other players, so said, you know what, I'm going to try to be on the Pro Tour as well, and look at him now doing it.
Love it.
2-1. Okay. Elemental. Yep.
So Aisling flips, adds mana available for 4 mana plus spells.
Yep.
There's Beza.
Whenever you have a 2-drop that is both an accelerant and does more things from that, no matter what, that is going to be a really solid card. So going from 2 to 4 is really what this version of Jeskai Elementals is trying to do.
Yeah.
I have one cast and you just say draw.
So just the draw off of Beza's enters the battlefield effect.
4 mana, 4/5, draw a card, still looks pretty good. And, you know, kind of looking at the Is It Spelemental side, there's so much removal that is aimed at dealing 2 damage, dealing 3 damage, bouncing creatures, countering 2-drops. It's very much the anti-Cub deck, but like having these just big bodies, these big toughness on the Elementals, this could actually be a big problem here for Dom Harvey and the, you know, air quotes, broken Is It Spelementals.
Yeah, it certainly had a great day 1 conversion. The Cub decks, on the other hand, did poorly.
I mean, 35, 40% win rate, and that is going to be the most interesting part of day 2. I think this is going to be the most interesting part of the Pro Tour in general, is how the anti-Cub decks fare against each other. Now the Cub decks aren't really around, so it's going to be all the anti-Cub decks to see how they stack up.
Yeah, I didn't check the standings lately just to see who the highest you know, Cub deck is at the moment. But here's Hearth Elemental for Dom Harvey, just to try and match up against that big ol' elk on the other side of things.
And of course, we play limited at this Pro Tour as well, so that's going to change, you know, the players at the top of the standings. You can have a bad record with your standard deck and 6-0 limited, and you're still going to be doing quite well.
2 roaming thrones in hand for Nick. This card, along with the Elemental's enters effects, is just nutty.
Incredible. A very tough card to kill already. The Ward 2 makes it very difficult. You know, cards like Dom going Abrade and paying 2 on turn 4. That would be great, but we don't see any of those in the main. There's 1 in the board. So that type of card, I think, is just going to be very, very good in this.
Oh my gosh, gross.
Case and point.
Well, I assume we paid, what did we pay for this Elemental? We paid full mana for it? No, we couldn't have.
Nope, just paying the black.
Black, yeah.
It would seem, so that's going to be take 2 cards away.
Yep.
And now, of course, the flip side of Aisling you don't flip it back, you just get that mana again. So
Yeah,
it is
it's
a
pretty cool.
card. It's the gift that keeps giving.
2 lands.
I mean, is there any incentive to flip it back? I mean, I guess if you're not drawing what you want, sure.
Yeah, if you don't have any good cards in hand, you flip it back, you do a looting. But for the most part, I bet this card flips to the backside and you stay there
Yeah.
just until exactly that. You start flooding. And Nick's hand, needless to say, not flooded. It looks great.
Another throne, another deceit. You can just rip Dom's hand to shreds
Yeah.
here. Ashling's Command as well.
Kinda,
Maybe not as good in this matchup, but still good to copy any of your elementals.
Still, yeah, the floor of it is 5, almost 3 mana, draw 2, because you get the 2 treasures as a little, cash rebate on your investment. And now we look at we look at Dom's hand, kind of exactly what I was afraid of from the perspective of the Is It Spellmentals deck. Cards like Spell Snare, Burst Lightning, they look terrible right now.
At least he's got ways to filter through the top of the library. You know, it's probably not as potent as the Lessons deck in terms of just sheer number of cards you get to see.
Yes.
But he still has ways to do that. He's still playing plenty of the important card draw discard spells.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go find what you can to get you out of this, because Dom is currently on the back foot.
Yep, and now you can double Deceit again. I mean,
Ew.
as far as hard casting, doesn't look like we're ready to go there, but if you want to take 2 more cards away, that's an option. Now that we did lose Ashling
yeah.
here, you can just hard cast the command, just play another Roaming Throne to set up for an even more impactful Deceit next turn. All options look good for Nick.
Glacial Dragon Hunt taking care of Ashling. So a good way to remove the mana acceleration and the card advantage if it were to flip over. Cavern of Souls drawn again. What? Okay, he's just got, I thought he had multiple. He's just got the one on the board.
Yeah, Nick is very much stressing our label maker.
Yes, yep.
Be running out of the words elemental here in no time.
Label maker is representing Shadowmoor.
Yeah.
Today. Yesterday it was Lauren.
Yeah, no kidding, no kidding. Cute cubs on day 1, and maybe not as many cute cubs on day 2.
Okay. Ashling's Command. What modes are we choosing here, friend?
I'm going to draw 2 cards.
Yes, sir.
And make a copy of Roaming Throne.
Sure, why not?
Looks great.
Double, double.
A 5.
Hey, Dom should understand that reference.
Yeah.
You probably don't, but
I don't, actually. But.
coffee. It's how you order coffee
Ah.
at Tim Hortons in Canada. You just ask for a double-double.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
coffee,
all right.
2 cream, 2 sugar. Double-double.
All right. I do enjoy coffee with double-double, so I'm here for it.
Oh, bother, said Pooh. Dom does not like his chances in that, so let's go to game number 2.
Yeah, that did not
What does Dom
look
have in the
good
sideboard,
at all.
friend?
Cards for the sideboard, I mean, it's all kind of situational stuff. Like maybe you want to nulls for the Roaming Thrones, to be able to counter an artifact, but it doesn't really do anything else there. Like Planeswalkers might be good. The Hydroman Fluid Felon might be okay.
Also an elemental.
And there we see Broadside Barrage. That was another one of the sideboard cards. Just something to kill a big creature.
Yeah, like a Beza that's in hand there for Nick Talbot.
And even Spell Snare, it's like, it's going to look better here. Maybe it's going to get a 2-drop. But the biggest problem is it's still a 4 Cavern of Soul deck. So your Spell Snare could still just be bad. So Spell Snare in hand there kind of leads me to believe Dom just doesn't have enough cards to bring in this matchup.
Yeah. And that's the risk you take, when you make a deck that is so targeted on a specific archetype. You're going to have some bad matchups, and, you're going to have to scrap your way out of them.
That's just standard right now, and that's why this format is so incredible, is, we saw the Cubs. Everyone thought, Sky is falling, Cubs are too good, and now it's targeted, it's doing terrible. Same thing for Lessons a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
There is always answers to whatever deck is popular at the moment, and that's just a sign of a great metagame and great metagame shifts.
So, hey, good job, Magic designers.
Oh, yeah. This is one of the better standard formats
in a long
that
time.
I've ever played. I mean, I've just had so much fun testing for these events, too.
Yeah,
it's been great.
Pick your poison. What would you like to play today?
Yep. And, of course, not able to Spell Snare that even if Dom wanted to.
Alas. 'Tis a 6-mana spell, so hearth. That elemental, the fireplace, that's going to eat you, is discarded here off of Deceit's ability.
And there's a barrage.
Nick taking a quick note there of what's in hand.
And Crab is 7 mana? 7, yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to Dom you know, yesterday, and he's like, "Well, I'm doing okay." This was at this point he was 3-2, and it's just like I just want a bread and butter finish. I either do extremely well or I completely, you know, don't win another.
Scrub out, yeah.
I don't win a single round in constructed, which was his quote. That's of course a little exaggerating, but
Well, glad that he jumped on board with the rest of the Boulders game plan here.
yep.
Bringing a pretty powerful deck, you know. All of their teammates made it into day 2,
Wow,
So-
that's incredible.
if I remember correctly. So that's very impressive. So kudos to that team.
And I mean, we're like Dom was saying in the pre-match interview, we're seeing this deck cascade out into the real world. It took down a couple Magic Online challenges yesterday. It's doing well in the PTQ between the pro players. It's really doing it. Interesting.
Okay. That was going to die anyway, yeah?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
Just
gonna
trying to dig
die.
through cards.
That is just I need more action. I need to be and get more threat so you can just play these cubs. But yeah, that was of course not a good exchange.
That felt maybe a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Two
It was wistful
crabs,
thinking,
you know,
that's for sure.
you know, possibly trying to get the Eddie Merck crab discount online quicker, or sooner rather than later.
So, I mean, here's the thing, what that was is Nick just looked at Dom's hand, saw a spell
Sure,
snare,
sure.
so was never going to walk into it.
Yeah.
So Dom was going to, and especially with the caverns, Dom
Yeah.
just wanted to discard the spell snares to be able to cast crabs quicker. Nick sniffed it out and was like, well, I'm going to prevent you from just hard casting Eddie Merck next turn.
Yeah. Still 7 mana at this point.
Yep.
Alas, nothing in the bin. But he will dig and continue to dig, firing off a couple
probably-
card draw spells.
Probably the best draw there for Dom. Abandon attachments
Yeah.
to just be able to loot away Glacial Dragon Hunt, make 3 spells into the yard, and at least have your crabs only cost 4, and you're able to cast that next turn. So nice stuff.
This deck is very reminiscent of the Eddie Merck Crab Solarian Terror
Yeah,
list of days gone by.
yeah, with up the beanstalk to get some
Yeah.
extra card draws. Yeah, that was kind of where we first saw that deck, and it's powerful. It's powerful. Just trying to use high CMC cards,
Yeah.
play them for cheaper and really early is a good strategy.
Doing anything ahead of schedule is a good thing here this weekend.
Yeah, no
Looking at you, Badger Mole Cubs.
So there is the Fluid Felon there. I was wondering if Dom was going to bring it in.
Nice. Yeah.
A
Way
very
to-
interesting card.
A way to ramp yourself, and it's also safe on your opponent's turn. So Sorcery Speed Removal won't get it unless it's a land disruption spell.
Yeah, so kind of cost 1 this turn, but it looks like, you know, we can't go Fluid Felon, untap the land, and then Eddie Merck as well. We're going to be 1 short of that. So looks like Dom has to make that choice. Do I play a crab here? Drawing 2 Fluid Felons was probably not exactly what you wanted.
No, not really. But if one dies, then hey, there's backup. Like I said, all good card needs an understudy. All right, opting to go for the Eddie Merck on the end step, it seems like.
Yeah, looks
He's got enough
like
in the bin
it.
for it, right? Yeah.
Yep, definitely
One
has
less for
enough
each
right now.
instant
So
and
it
sorcery.
costs 4.
Nick has sniffed that out too.
Yeah, and I think just fully knows about it. Like it is
Look at his
just face-up information. Wow.
He is very wistful.
Yeah, wistful thinking over there.
He's got a
Nick.
fistful of wistfuls.
I think I know what Nick's going to cast this turn.
And Steam Vents. Good grief. Do you think?
Yeah,
Are you sure it's not Deceit?
you know, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean, even this, you didn't get to destroy, you didn't get to exile an artifact or an enchantment, but just 5 mana, do some looting
Yeah.
is perfectly fine. These elementals, these evoke elementals have just been really awesome
Yeah.
into standard here.
End step, tap that down. Gives it a stun counter 2, I believe. No?
Nope.
No, just
Nope.
tapped. Okay. Enters, tap up to 2 target creatures. All right, so Eddie can start getting busy here if he so chooses.
Okay. So now we could start with abandoned attachments, get rid of an extra Hydroid
Nice.
Fluid Felon, and now if we draw an untapped land, we could go Fluid Felon, untap,
Yeah.
Crab, but doesn't look like that's the case. Ugh. That was just the worst. Now cannot really cast any crabs.
Yeah, that was a little unfortunate.
That was unfortunate. That was a risk right there, but settling with the Hearth Elemental is not so bad.
Yeah, decent sized blocker up against what's on the board there right now. It's a
Yeah.
4/5, so it can bounce off of Beza. She's a 4/5 too, right? Yeah. And then that's a 6-5. So the 6-5 is the biggest issue for Dom.
Yeah.
But next turn, you know, we do have a discounted Eddie Mer crab. Possibly going to see the Hydra Man as well. 2 crabs, in fact. So, oh, if he's real lucky, he gets to cost 2 crabs next turn.
Nick just drew maybe the best possible card, aka just
Oh.
a 4-drop. That is good. Just leaves him the ability to cast a 4-drop and Disdainful Stroke something from Dom, which is excellent here. And so far, the big wrinkle of this matchup is they're both playing Haymaker Elementals, but Nick's counterspells work. Dom's don't because Dom is not a Cavern deck. And Nick's used a lot of Elemental labels, to say the least.
Yeah. He's certainly causing a disruption in the market there when it comes to elemental labels.
Yeah.
Hoarding all the resources for himself. Tricky spot here now for Nick.
Yep. Just deciding to attack or not. I seems like a pretty easy one to me, just because there's no real way that you're going to die on the crackback next turn, especially with a Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah, got some protection there. Get outs from Dom Harvey.
Oh, God, it just looks so miserable to have get outs in the face of 2 caverns on the other side. 'Cause you can do some nice combos with it to, like, you know, if you know your opponent doesn't have any counter spells, you get to get out the crab, bounce a couple crabs, tap your opponent's creature, attack, get out them again, tap the crab. Like that's the only case that we can really use for the get outs now with 2 caverns, but not really going to work when there's already this stuff on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Dom gets out of this.
It's not looking super good here for our Amulet Titan Master. I've heard from a couple players when they have to prepare for those events, it's always like, yeah, we just asked Dom for, you know, his play-by-play in terms of how the heck do you play this deck.
He literally wrote the book on Amulet Titan, and that's not just like, you know, a phrase or anything. He wrote a book on the deck Amulet Titan. So
Get away inside.
really shows that he just had the greatest time ever in Barcelona at Pro Tour at the Lord of the Rings, getting to top 8 with your pet deck. I can't imagine how fun that was.
Sweet run indeed there for him. Not having the hottest run this morning, unfortunately, for Dom Harvey. Nick Talbot up game here with Jeskai Elementals, just applying a right amount of pressure and having the right amount of permission too, stopping anything that Dom Harvey tries to get going.
Yeah, and now Nick just has a great turn of playing untap land, uncounterable Wistfulness, get to draw 4, discard 2, and then hold up Disdainful Stroke. Like, that's just the first glance play, and I think there's even some other options that you can do if you really want.
I'm going to pay 2 blue for Wistfulness.
2 blue, yep, so that'll evoke away.
4 triggers, I'll draw 2 and discard 1 dice.
You still have to do them in order, though. So.
Yeah, you don't get to just draw 4, discard 2. It's draw 2, discard 1. That was double Vibrance. You know what that means, y'all? That is 12 damage to the face.
Has he got 4 red open?
Sure, it sure does.
Yeah.
You know, that there is only 1 untapped cavern, so they're not going to both be able to be cast this turn, but you can also just attack, and even if one of them resolves. So I think this is the last turn of the match.
Feeling like it. Draw the second time around, finds Deceit too, so that's another way to get a blocker out of the way. Nick Talbot super close here to a 2-0 victory, which will improve his record to 9-3.
Yeah, now you can Deceit first for a double hand disruption spells, take both get outs, and then throw 6 damage upstairs if you really want.
Oh my goodness.
Nick's having the time of his life, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Cast items. 2 red. Sure. 6 damage to you.
6 damage to the face.
And now that Vibrance happened, why not
I'll take 2.
another?
Try one more time, just to get this to resolve. And that's going to do it. Dom Harvey's not going to fight over that spell resolving. Excellent victory there from Nick Talbot, playing Jeskai Elementals.
And that's a classic case of the 2 anti-Cub decks that very much are targeting that deck, going up against each other, and that just looked like Dom had a very low chance to win from the very beginning. It just seemed like Nick's deck very much lined up against that particular version.
The more controlling decks seem to have a much better time when it comes to these anti-cub deck face-offs. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how it how this happens, how this carries on going forward. So we're gonna take a short break, friends. When we come back, we'll have more Magic for you shortly. Welcome back to coverage of Pro Tour Lorwyn Eclipse here in a chilly Richmond, Virginia. Well, as cold as it is outside, things are certainly heating up in here. Corey Baumeister on the booth with me. Hello, friends. I'm Eliloni, and we are going to jump into some more Magic here, friends, to see which of our players are keeping their top 8 dreams alive. Now, Corey, we don't do numbers and math and whatnot, but we do know that anyone who is not yet X and 4 is still in a pretty good spot to stake their claim for the top 8. So we're going to jump in here. Tom White, Team Sanctum of All, playing Teamer Harmonizer up against Gabriel Nicholas, who is playing Is It Blink, a deck that you say you've been having a ton of fun with.
Oh yeah, I've been playing this deck so much, it just felt like maybe it was just my pet deck as it wasn't picking up a lot of steam, but there are some big name players playing the deck. Gabriel Nicholas is an incredibly talented, established player. Both of these players we would know a lot from Magic Online. McWinsauce below, as well as Oink Mage up top. I've lost to both of them plenty of times.
What lovely names.
Yep.
I do enjoy all the names we've been encountering lately. Faced off against a draft punk yesterday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and both of these decks very much in the other category, you know?
Sure.
I mean, there was like 8 players playing Is It Blink, and then the Teamer Harmonizer deck that we saw from Team Sanctum, as well as Tony Portland doing extremely well with the deck as well, and they kind of think they broke it, you know, with going Harmonizer, full bore, fetch land, 28 damage.
I love the answers for how did you qualify? And Tom's is, I broke the all-time record for most Mox points earned in a season.
Yep.
That's no small feat, friends.
Yep. Qualified via the leaderboard there, and it was not close for him taking first, needless to say.
Who was second place? How far behind?
I don't remember exactly.
I'll have to ask him later. Team Harmonizer, though, a sweet, sweet list here from Team Sanctum of All. Tries to kill you in one fell swoop. Turn 4 combo, yeah?
Yep. No, not necessarily possible turn 4, but turn 5, because you need 3 for the Harmonizer full bore, and then you need to play land 5. So it's going to be a lot of setup, stock up kind of thing, and then go for the win. Oh, I guess no, you can kill turn 4. You just have to Earthbender Ascension first to do a little bit of ramping.
I gotcha.
Last button. Yeah, you did.
Burst Lightning takes care of the little otter. Man, you think you get rid of these otters, but they just work their way back in here so often.
Yep, they always come back here. And this is a deck that Gabriel's playing. The best possible draw is to Splash Portal it there. So missing out on that is really brutal. And even maybe the next level version that Ely Cassis, Arno Huschenbeth, and the rest of the team are playing. They're actually playing Springleaf Drum, so you can Warp Riddler on 2 and Splash Portal to keep it around.
That's not the only deck I've seen playing it this weekend. So, Springleaf Drum making its way back into the format. A sweet addition for these decks, just to use your creatures to accelerate into your next threat. Hello, Might Form Harmonizer. How's it going?
Harmonizer here, the 4 toughness makes it a little tricky to kill. I do see 2 Torch the Towers for Gabriel Nicholas. Otherwise, Roaring Furnace, kind of the other way to deal with this. And I mean, this is one of the best Roaring Furnace decks, if not by far the best. It is so good in this deck, as you have so many ways to pick it up and actually kill large creatures.
And full hands most of the time. Thanks, Quantum Riddler. You're the real MVP.
Yep.
So 1 threat off the board. Got to think Tom White's got a backup in hand. Ral Crackling Wit hits the board here.
Yeah, you would really think that there's a backup if you lean one out. And the game can be over right now.
Sure can.
For what it's worth. You harmonize.
It's tapped out.
Yep, you harmonize, full bore, Fabled Passage. Even 1 blocker is nowhere near enough. But if it's not there, then Gabriel Nicholas really gets to take over the game with having an active Planeswalker here. And I don't think it's there if you Fabled Passage first.
Yeah. Alas, no big wombo combo turn here for Tom White, but he will go and fetch up a land, hopefully find an Ice-Steel Explorer to start taking advantage of the lands in the yard.
Absolute worst case, you get to attack for 2 at Raw with Bossing Say, but not great.
No.
Not great.
Planeswalkers are real annoying, aren't they?
They are very, very
I want to be focusing on that life total, not your loyalty counters.
I do like the change kind of that we've seen in Planeswalkers. You know, they're much more role-playery now than, you know, maybe Chandra Torch of Defiance in that standard format where it was just...
Or Teferi, Hero of Dominaria.
Exactly. Those are 2 prime examples. Or the last time we were in this building, a certain Oko was doing pretty well. Now I feel like Planeswalkers very much are role players, and there can be certain decks like this where you're casting spells over and over. You basically get to, you know, air quotes, brainstorm every single turn with Raw because you cast so many spells from the Is It Blink deck. It's all velocity from that deck, and it's really powerful.
Riddler number 2 hits the board here. We're going to see a cheeky Splash Portal this time around, perhaps?
Doesn't look like it.
We have it.
There's a cheeky Boomerang Basic that you can Boomerang Basic your Riddler if you really want to, but it looks like Gabriel Nicholas is holding up. Get out! Get out a card that Ely and the rest of the teammates did cut, but Gabriel Nicholas still keeping around.
All right. 10 passes back now to Tom White. 2 mana open on the other side of things. Not something you want to see as the combo deck, but hey, this is the fight you have to win. And this is a deck that is pretty well lined up to be able to defend its combo.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like it was probably there. Harmonizer, double get out, and 1 land drop is what looks like it was for Tom White's plan. Get out, Seer, Bossing Say. And I think that's a second full bore in the back, so that was the turn. If get out was not there,
we would have gotten out of this game.
Yeah, Tom would have got out of this game with a win.
Looked like 2 Boomerang Basics in hand, like you mentioned, for Gabriel, so if he wants to start bouncing a couple things, he sure can. But Rel ticking down, finding some cards for Nicholas.
Yeah, and these players, when they are at 8 and 3, the main thing that is really saying is
no more losses.
If you lose this round, you can still get to 12 wins and hope tiebreakers get you into the top 8, but to just get that magic 12 number that we're going to be talking about here for the next few rounds, you very much need to win this round.
So Rel taken care of there. Tom found an opening and took his opportunity to sear off the Planeswalker. But now, problem number 3, 4, 5?
Yeah, and so right now, Tom's hand before we drew was land, full bore, full bore. So if we draw a Harmonizer, we can probably do it. I mean, what else would you be doing math for?
You have 3, 4, 4. Okay.
Because Harmonizer into full bore, double is a 20 damage. So it would force a chump block, but not enough.
Bossing Say activated. Here's our mountain. This is, as you said yesterday, a sign of weakness if this is all that the turn is for the combo players.
Yep. Yeah, not getting in there after the Bossing Say animated land here, as there's no war in Bossing Say.
Oh, I was
And now just Riddler after Riddler, and even if, you know, Tom does find an Harmonizer and just has a normal land drop here, attacking for 20 is just not going to be enough when you can just chump block with a Riddler and get it going. So. A nice other play here. Splash Portal can also just be a pseudo give my Quantum Riddler Vigilance, draw a card, like we saw here.
It's pretty neat when you only have to pay 3 mana for a 4/6 that
Yeah.
plays you 2 cards if you're lucky.
Still my favorite card in Standard. Quantum Riddler is so
Yeah.
fun to play with. It's so clean. It's so powerful.
It fits in everywhere.
Yep.
Any blue deck. There's no downside to it.
Sorry, what are you at? 13.
Yeah,
It's also not a question you want your is it player on the other side to ask you. It's like, I'm the one that asks these questions. Oh yeah, okay. Roaring Furnace, taking care of the land.
Yep.
Tempting too.
Counter that.
Nice.
And still looks like double Boomerang basic in hand for Gabriel Nicholas. So, I mean, to be fair, having that Furnace come down.
No, hang on here. Tell me about this interaction here.
Yeah.
That countered the Roiling Furnace?
Yeah, because it's
the
just
whole
casting.
card, isn't it?
Just casting the room is like an individual spell.
Okay, got you.
Agreed. There's all these kind of little subtleties, but yeah, the
Yeah.
rooms when they go on the stack are just the mana value of the specific room
the
that's
side
cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have played a land already.
Magic's hard, y'all.
Yeah, everything's a little different.
Yeah.
Evoke, warp, you know, you
Something
can't
slightly
counter
different,
those. Yep.
Subtle differences here and there.
Either way, the Spell Snare has just been such a really fun wrinkle to stand. It's definitely changed the dynamic.
Maybe
And
last turn I
to be
did.
fair, Is It Blink didn't really get anything too
Loser.
special. The best card I got by far, not close, is
Warp.
Steam Vents.
Yes, yeah.
But the second best is Spell Snare. Just a very good cub. Or a very good, no, that's a prelude to what I'm about to say. A very good card against Cub when you're on the draw. Being able to Spell Snare that on the draw is a big deal.
Go.
It's definitely something you want in your opening hand in that matchup. In these anti-Cub matchups, so it's a little bit like, I don't know.
Hold on here. I mean, I think Gabriel Nicholas only has 2 Boomerang basics in hand and land. So if the Harmonizer plan was here, I think it would have
Now's
worked.
the time
but
to do it. Doesn't look like it's there, though.
it doesn't look like it. None of those were Harmonizer. And if it was, and I think those last 2 cards in hands are both just full bore. So
Yeah, bunch of lands and Insta Flood more, so not gonna cut it here for Tom White. Gabriel Nicholas picks up the win there with a good old beatdown plan.
Yep.
Just a bunch of big dragons and little otter friends to help them out. Game 2. Now, what's Tom going to rely on in his sideboard to get this one done?
Yeah, not anything too dramatic as far as changes. Sirach, Elusive Hunter is a card that is so good against Izzet strategies that are trying to kill your creatures on a 1-for-1 basis. But outside of that, maybe Spell Snare or Spell Pierce as well. But otherwise, just trying to really go as aggressive to the plan as possible before Gabriel Nicholas can kind of get his footing down in the game and establish a Riddler, basically. That's kind of the most important thing in this matchup, as well as pretty much every other matchup from the Is It Blink side. Getting that early Riddler down is very important.
Pretty ideal start here for Gabriel Nicholas. Has the otter down on the board. Storm Chaser's Talent. Now, 2 mana left open from Tom's side is just, I smell a counter spell of sorts.
One of my favorite stories from Gabriel Nicholas was at a regional championship in early last year. Messaged me and said, hey, you know, my flight's going to get in late. I'm not going to be able to make it for round 1. Can you tell a judge to not drop me so I can still play the tournament? I'm like, yeah, no problem. That really, you know, sorry to hear that. That is a bummer. And then all of a sudden, looking at the standings after like round 13, Gabriel Nicholas is X-1 and ends up top 8ing that. Only loss to not getting there on time
Yeah.
because of the flight.
Lost to whatever airline he was flying.
Exactly. It was XN United. Yep.
Oh, the shade, the shade.
And then ended up, making it all the way to the top 8. I believe did lose in the top 8, but an incredible performance there.
Good Lord, yeah.
Yep.
That's right. I've given the one loss I had. I wasn't involved in it, but you know what? Here we go.
Yep, and that was a standard RC, and then 2
Buckle in.
tournaments later in RC Portland, ended up top 8ing that as well. When Breach was a thing, and was
Nice.
really just always dominating those kind of U.S. Star City Games events.
Hell yeah. Warped Riddler, a little Otter, Surak, Elusive Hunter, one of the best options for these decks. Facing counter spells, Escape Tunnel on the board. Not really used for its ability to give something evasion, but just another way to fetch fetch lands out of the deck.
Trigger. Yep.
Oh, that feels so bad.
It's okay.
That feels
Hey, he gifted him a
bad.
fish. Well, not really.
No, you get a card. You get a card, and it's just a bounce spell. That is not the removal spell you want.
No.
That is definitely a spot where you want to be roaring furnacing
Yeah.
Sirach.
Yep, he'll come on right back, and every time he's targeted, or any friends are targeted,
Yeah.
they're going to just get you more cards.
Just start Quantum Riddler. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the damage is minimized a little bit if your opponent has to discard, so not a bad time to be able to bounce it. There is the Roaring Furnace.
Yep.
believe,
Trainer.
believe we saw a Boomerang Basics as well. But the one thing I for sure saw from Tom White's hand was a Harmonizer. So, if Gabriel Nicholas goes to just Boomerang Basics, the talent, replay the talent,
Does the
could
case
easily
card
be
that +3/+2 give it trample too? Yes.
It sure does. Full bore. If it is a warped creature, it gets those extra
Yeah,
abilities.
absolutely.
Not just a cool combat trick. So Gabriel has to have a way to deal with that and break that up. Looks like he's got a negate in hand though, so should be fine so long as he doesn't tap out.
What a card Full Bore has been. It's went through so many different decks doing so many different things. It started off as just maybe Monstrous Rage at home, essentially.
Yeah.
After we lost that, it was still those decks trying to push the advantage type thing. Then we saw like some Is It Prowess list that was just trying to give Riddler haste to get in 7 damage. And now it's the other half of a Splinter Twin combo piece. Like, Full Bore has some range.
It sure does. Tom White now trying to figure out how to navigate around this counter spell represented. First things first, we have to keep Surak on the board. I bet you it's going to get bounced pretty soon though, so.
Or the Furnace to be able to deal with it here, and a plethora of cards in hand, so. But I'm not sure I see any Spell Snare to be able to deal with it. I saw Spell Pierce.
Alas.
And Tom just had 8 non-lands in hand, so all these cards we've been drawing is just unable to find land 5.
Steaming Sun on the other side of thing when games go long. We look to rely on that for some extra card draw. Warping a Riddler. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, and the Furnace and Steamy Sauna aspect, you don't really go for the sauna that much in game 1s, but when games 2, when everything slows down a bit, that's when the sauna shines.
That's just because everything gets sweaty, right?
Exactly, it glistens, yeah.
Yes, sure does.
Love being able to flip those cards here. Instead of everyone turning their head sideways to read it.
Yeah, you can always tell when everyone at home is kind of like a dog when they hear a sound they don't recognize. Like, what?
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, I mean, still, no matter what, this is going to be the test. Is do we have the pieces? I saw a lot of blue cards in hand from Tom, but I did see a Harmonizer.
There was a Harmonizer, yeah. So Full Bore and a
Harmonizer and a fetch land would be enough.
Drum roll, please. Okay, I still Explorer. So not there yet.
A very solid consolation prize here. At least just getting 2 land drops from your hand. When you don't have any in play, it's kind of the best thing you can be doing. So escape tunnel comes onto play, respond to the trigger, search your land is what we're doing here.
I always hate Billy myself because it's like, I know you're just going to put the card in the bin.
Yeah, I know you just play decks that it's just all your cards are so good that you can't bear to mill any of them over.
Absolutely. Even in Commander, when it's a 100-card format, I still want all the cards I put in there.
There you go. That's why you put them in.
Mill me. Precisely. So fetching some lands here is Tom White. Gabriel Nicholas looks to be in a very commanding position still. Still has those 2 warped Riddlers to rely on. He has these little otters that can get some chip damage in here and there, but you know, once it starts costing a bunch of spells, it's not really chip damage anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It does come down to, as much as everything looks like it's going very smooth from Gabriel Nicholas, the Is It Blink deck can have some awkward draws. You know, you can get to a spot where you have a lot of splash portals, you have a lot of boomerang basics, and maybe not the other half to go with it.
Yeah.
Storm Chaser's Talents and the Riddlers, and then your hands can look very awkward. But whenever you can combine forces and have boomerang basics with your talents or splash portals with your Riddlers, the deck looks truly incredible. Wow, just another shields down moment here from Gabriel Nicholas.
Okay.
Just keeps saying, I dare you, try it. And eventually Tom will have the draw, just hasn't been there so far.
Oh, okay. Nice. Instant Flood Maul, getting rid of the Riddler temporarily.
Right, big turn once again. Another time where if we have the 3-card combo, it would be plenty.
Is he counting, or is that a frustration tap?
I would think that's a math count, but maybe a little bit of both.
How many cards? 4.
Yeah, Tom White, an incredible Magic player. From commentating the Magic Online Championships, he is there about half of the time. Just always qualifying via the leaderboard too, which is just rewarding this consistent play.
McWin sauce, right?
Yep,
Well, he doesn't name himself McLoose sauce.
That is a very good point. Yeah, that is a very good point.
You just got to name yourself better.
That is so true.
He'll start winning in Magic. Don't quote me on that.
I wish I would have learned that earlier in my career.
Well, you know, you went with dropping bombs, so you should be really good at limited, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what I am. That's for sure.
Love you, bud. All right, we got some options here.
Hey, that looked like Songcrafter Mage.
Hey, we haven't seen him in a hot minute.
Yeah, a card that is very powerful, but hasn't really had its time to shine. And it is only a 1-of here in the sideboard, but is a powerful effect.
What's it targeting? What does it want to get out of the yard?
Let's see. Harmonizing a certain thing. I mean, I guess it's just another card that's really good at being like, end step, play it, harmonize, consult the star chart or something, get some value. Doesn't scream any particular role in this deck.
Nice little Explorer. Gonna mill some more fun stuff.
Go ahead.
Stock up in the bin. It's always a sad place to see it. That's all of them now, looks like.
Seems like it.
Good grief.
And now, the one thing from the Is It Blink side is there's usually 1 or 2 ways to create just a ton of really quick damage, and it's almost always 1 or 2 Frostcliff Siege. Gabriel Nicholas does play the 1, so I mean, if you can go something like Storm Chaser's Talent into Frostcliff Siege, couple more spells, you can create a situation where you can win out of nowhere. But outside of that, it's just kind of not that kind of deck. You set up and it always seems like you have 5 or 6 cards in your hand because you just have this constant value, this velocity as far as a deck goes. But you know, putting pressure on at times can be the biggest problem.
Who were you watching yesterday also playing this?
Is it Blink?
No, Teamer Harmonizer.
Oh, yeah. Team Sanctum played it, so Tony...
yeah, it was Tony.
Yeah, Tony's still, I mean, at this round I walked by playing against Christopher Larson at table 4, so still doing great with the deck.
Hold on. Oh,
Magic players are good.
Sorry, what have you done this time? I'm just picking this up, that's it.
You're picking this up? Okay.
No, I'm activating this, sorry.
Okay.
To get this back, and then I'm going to pick this up.
Right.
Okay.
Activating that,
pick
picking
this
that up.
Yes. Okay.
And then
Draw a card.
kill your thing, probably.
Yeah, play a land, kill I Still Explore, but just another turn that is just shields down, so.
Sure.
All right, Tom.
You've got 4 cards.
Yeah.
Come on, he's gotten, what, 4 chances to pop off?
Yeah, and every time that Tom hasn't popped off, Tom's used the turn of, I am going to stock up my graveyard.
Yeah.
The
I didn't see a red card in hand there.
I saw a one, but I wasn't sure if it was the one.
yeah, 4.
Yeah, I'll be at 6.
Yep.
Down to 6 goes Tom. Untaps. Now or never, or you're going to be a little dead. I think.
Leaves the escape tunnel so that we know there's a harmonizer. And
Yes.
I honestly think I saw a couple harmonizers. So 2 harmonizers, full bore, and then sack an escape tunnel.
Soul Star charts?
I'm,
Yeah,
you know,
for
I'm no
8.
mathematician, but
Okay.
that's got to be enough. For 8, okay, so that's full bore. So now we know we have harmonizer. We know we have basically all the full bores.
You're
And now,
fine.
This
if
should
we
be
just
it.
have a land, I think Tom still needs to show a land, but we know we have harmonizer. We know we have full bore.
1, 2, 3.
And there's
Harmonizer
Steam
hits the
Vents
board.
too.
Warped. That's the life to pay for it,
Full bore.
thankfully.
Yeah.
Full bore on it.
7 power.
Right.
Play a land.
Land
Oh,
for
no,
trigger.
that's failed.
That's
Yeah.
it,
Yeah, there
yeah.
you go.
Yep.
Yep, that is 7 power, doubled to 14. Then the land coming into play, doubled to 28.
On the flip side of things, though,
double
that
it
was
one more time.
very unlucky for Gabriel not to find any way to stop this combo.
Yeah,
He
it
drew through a lot of cards.
it just seemed like a lot of sorcery speed interaction, nothing to leave open from what we saw.
Game 3, Gabriel Nicholas keeping an opening 7.
Doesn't
Or
look
does he?
like it.
No, that
Ready?
looked like a mulligan.
Yeah, that looked like a mulligan to me.
Yeah, so both players, I think, on 6.
Yep, looks like it.
And again, another ideal start with our little otter on board here.
Yep, and I see
Here's
Splash
the count.
Portal. I don't see Riddler yet, but Splash Portal's second best target, and well, only other target is Thunder Trap Trainer. And, you know, that's about as close to Ancestral Recall as it gets when
For
you Splash
otters.
Portal on a trainer.
Yep.
Just get to draw a card at
1 year.
end. Look at the top 4. Maybe that's a stretch for
Yeah,
Ancestral
maybe.
Recall, but not
Take
by
one
that
away.
much.
19 anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thunder Trap Trainer, such a cool little card.
Yeah,
That's right.
it really is good. It seems like it is, you know, wouldn't be that powerful, but I mean,
Yeah.
we see Thunder Trap Trainer in Modern, even older formats like that. This card has proven itself very much. So here is the big turn. Gabriel Nicholas would love to Warp Riddler, Splash Portal Riddler. That's the best thing that you can do from this deck. But with 2 mana available from Tom White, it's you know, unlikely to work even if we had it.
Yeah, slightly risky attempt if it were to be made. So instead going for a second copy of Storm Chaser's Talon. And, you know, we've seen these little 1/1 otters just take over games. So
Yeah,
Tom's going to have to be careful of that as well.
And there we had the option
Okay, one
of
Yep.
Splash Portal on Trainer, but once again, a sorcery
Thunder
speed
something?
aspect where you just kind of have to hope your opponent doesn't have a removal spell.
So you're at
It looks like it
17
wasn't
now?
worth it to Gabriel, even with a Spell Pierce to back it up.
Yeah, Spell Pierce taking care of Earthbender Ascension. What'd you see?
I see Riddler and Splash Portal.
Oh. Well, shall we?
I mean,
Why not?
I couldn't resist not doing it, that's for sure. Especially now because
Yeah.
you get to play an untapped land first, and then Splash Portal and draw 2.
Nice.
I'll go to
3
18.
mana, draw 3, 4/6. Is that something you want?
Yep.
Yes, that sounds pretty good.
Good.
Pretty darn good.
Combat.
That being said, Tom can still win the game next turn.
3, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead.
6 toughness, so the critter is a 28.
Yeah, because I mean,
When all things
you harmonize, and then you play a Fabled Passage, trigger, sack the passage, trigger, 2 triggers on the stack,
Yep.
full bore it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No passage this time around, though. So what's Tom White doing with this turn? Nothing. Passes the turn back. Okay. So he's on defense.
And now with Riddler in
Go
play,
combat.
Yep.
6
you know,
balls.
Gabriel Nicholas mulligan to 6 on the play, and sometimes that's,
ahead.
I wouldn't say an advantage because you just get the cards back, but it's not so bad when you have a Riddler draw, as you're redrawing those cards so quickly.
Consult the star charts. Negated there by Gabriel Nicholas. Still has 2 mana up. So applying the pressure, having the answers. Tom White has to figure out something miraculous here to pick up the victory.
Yeah, it looks like Gabriel Nicholas has the perfect card to break up the Splinter Twin combo in air quotes, and that's Flash Freeze. Can counter either Full Bore or the Harmonizer.
Yes. Those were reprinted in Foundations?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and it's made a huge impact.
Nice.
That is for sure.
I think I missed that entirely with that set. Ice-Tail Explorer, no, and that is going to do it. Gabriel Nicholas picking up the win there up against Tom White. So 9-3 is what Gabriel advances to. GG.
Yep. GG. And both decks look really awesome, and they seem very equally matched. Just the old Riddler Splash Portal. Able to pick that one up.
Oh yeah, there's so many cheeky ways to keep things on the battlefield. You know, we've seen it with the Sultai decks, playing Not Dead After All, and the Elementals. So turns out these big 6-drops are quite cool when you get to keep them for longer.
When you can get them out there a little quicker, that's for sure. Yeah, look like a blast.
Awesome, friends. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back at the news desk. So don't go anywhere.